Right, this is the Fatduino, which is a combination of an Arduino controller and Paia Fatman analog synthesizer. I'm going to start off looking under the hood, non-existent hood. Got three boards. The one on the right is the original Paia Fatman analog monophonic synthesizer. It's a 2-oscillator analog synth with resonant filters, originally controlled by an 8051 microcontroller, totally obsolete now, and so I decided to rewire it to be controlled by an Arduino. So you can see here the ribbon which takes the control signals for the digital analog converter, the trigger signals, various other control signals on this ribbon to this, the Arduino. This is an Arduino Mega. You can see the digital signals going in there to the DAC and control signals. I've also got some analog signals going in there from some knobs in the front panel. We've also got this board, which is a sort of mod board. It's got a mixer at the bottom for the output of the main oscillators, an external input, which is very useful, running stuff through the filters, and also ring modulator for some nice weird clangy sounds, and a comparator which generates PWM, which is a nice addition to the original Fatman sound of just the sawtooth. So we look now at the front panel, which is very much a work in progress, as you can see. On the left here we've got the controls for the Arduino. We've got the tempo, which controls an internal oscillator which generates an LFO, and also the arpeggio. If you feed MIDI in though, however, it becomes MIDI synced, which is nice. We've got the middle knob there controlling the LFO frequency, and the right knob which controls how the LFO gets mixed into the velocity control voltage, which essentially allows the LFO to be routed to filter cutoff or PWM, other things. Now you've got some buttons there which initiate various modes. Because it's a microprocessor controlled synth, I thought it would be nice to have a built-in arpeggiator, so it can do that. It can also do a built-in simple step sequencer. And once you've got a sequence in, you can transpose it, which is quite nice. Now moving on here, we've got the oscillator controls. Top ones are standard Paia Fatman, but we've got some modifications here. We've got sync, we've got ability to fix oscillator 2, which is great with the ring modulator. We've also got some option to modulate oscillators 2 frequency from the LFO, and also to select where the PWM modulation comes from, either from the ESR transient generator or from the velocity control voltage, which is also the LFO. And we've got a fine and coarse for oscillator frequency as well, which is nice. And then the controls for the VCF, all pretty much standard Arduino. You can select between the ESR transient generator, velocity, which is also the LFO as well, pitch, and select the frequency and resonance of the filters. At the bottom here we have a mixer, and before the filters we can mix in an external input, the output from the PWM, the output from the ring modulator, and the original oscillator outputs. And then on the right we have the VCA controls, which are pretty much standard Paia Fatman, the ESR and punch switch. On the right here we've got some more mods we can insert an effect before the filter, which is quite nice. It allows you to essentially have a distorted sound which still goes through the filter. Or you can flip that switch and you can feed an additional external input into the mixer, which is great for noise sources. So that's my noise source, little AM radio. So that is the Fatduino.